Hello! Learning for Hope is hosting an online event consisting of panelists who will be able to advise individuals who would like to enter the tech industry. Here's one of our panelists sharing their journey in tech. If you would like to have your questions answered about how to join the tech industry, as well as learn more about the online event, please visit events.learningsforhope.org.
Hello, my name is Anthony Williams and I'm an iOS engineer at DoorDash. What inspired me to pursue a career in tech was I tried to start a business back when I was in college and I needed an app made for it. And the app was just too expensive to get developed, so I just wanted to learn how to code by myself. I taught myself how to code and it was really fun and interesting to be able to create anything that I wanted from scratch. So that kind of got my interest into it and I just got further into it. I ended up changing my major from aerospace engineering at the time to computer science, and I ended up majoring in computer science. And what kind of kept me sticking around was, of course, the money, but it's also just fun being able to tap into any industry that you want and be able to impact anything that you want. So I feel like it's a really impactful job, and it's something that I get to enjoy every day. I prepare for my career that I have now. Mainly for me, I focus on a lot of side projects throughout college. I just built things that I was just genuinely interested in, and that helped sharpen my tool set and just learn more about programming. I went to a lot of hackathons and just really delved into the community and met more people in that space, got around people that are also interested in these things, and I focused on just learning the tools that would get me to the job that I wanted to get to. I drove up to San Francisco every other month to go to meetups and meet people. I eventually got affiliated with a program called Code 2040, which was kind of my stepping stone into tech and into internships, and that got my foot in the door with Slack. And that's when I really started to propel my career with iOS engineering. And all those things kind of together have shaped me and brought me to where I am now as an iOS engineer at DoorDash. Yeah, so the resources I found helpful to get my foot into the tech industry was obviously the internet, a lot of Googling, and honestly, on the day-to-day job, it's still a lot of Googling. There's no way to know everything. And also, the people that I'm surrounded with, my friends, my colleagues, the one that I met, even from college, are people I still ask questions to this day and can still talk about things that I want to learn or things that they're interested in. It's just such a vast field that you can always be learning from everybody. So I take advantage of the communities, the meetups that I can get to go to, whether there's clubs on your campus or some type of organization you can join. Just being around people that are also learning these things, you can always just have people to pick their brains. So I just would leverage the people you're around. What makes my experience in the tech field unique, I think first and foremost, is being a black engineer. There's not a lot of people at the table, and I've definitely been in a lot of rooms where I'm the only black engineer. I think that is a scary thing to be at times when you don't feel like maybe you don't belong in a room or things like that. But I also learned to see that as my strength, where I can now bring something different to the table every time. And I don't think it's just about race too. I think there's different things in interest, or me just being interested in basketball or other things that maybe my team's not interested in, and I'm now just exposing them to. So being able to bring different things to the table and make our team more whole is, I feel like, what makes me unique. A challenge I've faced in the tech industry is dealing with imposter syndrome. I've had it since the start of my career, and even as a senior engineer, I still have it now. I deal with it by talking to my manager and being open about it and getting help. I try not to shy away from hard conversations or really difficult tech conversations. And if you're experiencing imposter syndrome yourself, I would definitely talk about it with your colleagues or your friends or anyone else that could help you kind of fight through that, because it's natural to have imposter syndrome. One thing I wish I knew before going into tech is realizing that it's not all about the technical aspect. Especially being an engineer, it's easy to dive in, just worry about coding all the time. But as I just go around my career, I realized how important communication is, and not only just verbal communication, being able to build a network with your colleagues and all that, but also being able to have written communication, being able to write documentation, being able to talk to different teams and work with different teams is extremely valuable and will help you propel your career even faster. The biggest mistake I made in tech is a pretty difficult question because I make big mistakes all the time. I've taken down the app multiple times. I make mistakes, and I feel like that is normal. And the main thing is to own up to those mistakes and to learn from them and to work towards finding a solution. I think the biggest one that comes to mind for me is a crash that I actually put in the Slack iOS app when I was interning there, and the app got released to users, and the app was continually crashing, and we had to then put out like a hot fix. And if you have an iPhone, or if you know how apps work, you just download the app. So having to force people to then go and update the app was a really big deal, and it definitely was like a catastrophe at the time, and it felt like the world was like kind of coming down on me and I was gonna get fired. But I just talked to my manager about it. I worked with my team, and we figured out to make sure that problem never happened again. So it wasn't the end of the world, but it definitely felt like it at the time. Advice I'd give to my past self before jumping into tech is to just don't be afraid to look dumb or feel dumb and try new things. I think it's going to be an uphill battle the whole way. Tech is a field that is constantly changing, and things are, always going to be new, and there's going to be more difficult things to learn and more smart people to be around. So it's easy to just feel afraid and not want to like go after that, but as long as you're willing to try and stay consistent, good things will happen.